Hello, Fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2017, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, in many ways, the energy this month is decidedly reflective. There's going to be a part of you this month that is going to want to go within, is going to want to consider and then reconsider your options, your plan, is going to want to think more thoroughly about what you really want and what you really want to do. And then there are the surprises. There are going to be some very decisive moments where in some very quick turn of events, you must act and act very quickly. There may be doubt, and yet you've got to take the horns and you've got to jump right in. And a lot of this really is thanks to your ruling planet Mercury. Now it is a Mercury retro month, and a lot of the key conversations, a lot of the key connections that Mercury is going to be having as we finish last month and as you enter this month are the same types of conversations that Mercury is having as you finish off this month. Now you add to this Venus. Venus is and is right now Venus retro season. Venus is this month going to stand still in the sky and go direct. Also be having some key similarities at the very top of the month and the very late part of the month. So in many ways, a lot of us are going to feel like things are coming full circle, that there's kind of a, as we began, so we finish, but finishing in a different place. But where we began, there's going to be that feeling here, like we are seeing things as they were, but from a very different perspective. And for you, that is especially amplified because Mercury is your ruling planet. And the suddenness element of it is especially amplified for you that much more. Now we add to this the fact that there is a new moon late this month in the sign just before yours. Now, when there is a new moon in the sign just before yours, it is a fresh perspective on what otherwise wouldn't necessarily be in your awareness. It is a fresh perspective on where closure needs to happen. And Mercury retrograde tends to ordinarily be a good time to allow closures to take place, to allow yourself to consider where it is that you could maybe clear away the past. Well, this is another chance to really clear away the past that much more. And so you're laying the ground, preparing the ground, if you will, but you can expect some vulnerabilities to arise in the process. You can expect yourself to feel like you are on the verge of a new change, a new beginning, and yet there is a need to go back over old ground. As much as Venus is going direct, still there's old ground to cover. And this is especially true in the realm of love. Saturn is moving through your opposite sign, still has been over the course of the last 2 years, will now is sort of making its way through its last year. This year of 2017 is Saturn's sort of last move through your opposite sign. And this is a key month with that Saturn hanging in conversation with a retro Venus. And actually that Venus standing still in the sky, changing directions, is going to do so with Saturn standing still in the sky, also changing directions as well. So both these planets in very powerful positions are going to be speaking to each other. This element of love bringing about some vulnerabilities, bringing about greater honesty, and really having to get very real with yourself about the state of love in your life and how you feel about it, and feeling like you want to make some changes and yet feeling like maybe you can't really make the kind of changes just yet that you may really feel like you want to, or being very aware of the larger consequences of those changes and not really sure if it's worth the sacrifice, being aware that it is sacrifice to make the changes that you are considering, thinking, wanting, being aware of the restrictions as well that are placed there, being aware of your own fears in making the kind of changes that are going to allow meaningful love to find you. Well, all of that is going to come very much to the surface. But here's the thing, when Saturn is involved, change has to happen. Now, ultimately, what that change is and how it comes about will be the kind of thing that ultimately is going to be right. So there's Nothing, I don't want you to get into a space that makes you feel like you have to do anything that you don't really want to do. There's going to be soul searching, yes, but the great thing about soul searching is it gets you to your truth. And that really is key here. With that new moon happening in the sign just before yours late this month, that truth element is that much more amplified. It really is about seeing what before was hidden to you. It really is about understanding that you are clearing the way. Now, that clearing may be just forgiveness. That clearing may be seeing what it is in your relationship that now you can forgive so that you can have a stronger relationship in exactly where you are right now. That clearing may be understanding what was doesn't need to be anymore in terms of the types of people you attract into your life. But more than that, when it comes to having Saturn in your opposite sign, I have a feeling as I look at this, you know, Saturn in your opposite sign brings with it a larger lesson of love and knowing that that's where some of your most important learning is. And as I look at this, I feel like there's very likely at least one key situation that probably has been frustrating. And this is going to be a very key understanding of the reality of who this person is. Whether this is a person that you like a whole lot, that you've hoped there would be something there with a lot. Whether this is someone that you are in a committed relationship with, or you'd hoped there could be something more with. This is going to be a very decisive moment of truth that ultimately frees you. Now, that moment of truth is going to come well before the freedom. The freedom's going to come later in the month. That truth is going to come right around the middle of the month. That may be a truth that you need to sit with, and it may be a truth that you then need to really understand if it fits in with the larger vision that you have for your life or not. And is that truth really about you, or is it about that other person? But there's this big picture perspective involved. And that's what happens when you have Venus retro at the very top of your sky and Venus going direct, speaking with Saturn in your opposite sign at the very top of your sky. It has to do with understanding the ultimate direction of your life and how it is that one key person is fitting into that understanding. Not do they fit in with where you're going necessarily, but how do they fit in with your understanding of where you're going, of the legacy you're leaving, of what really matters in the big picture of your life. Everybody who enters our life in some way can help to move us towards greater love and greater wisdom. That is the ultimate direction at the end of the day. That truly is the ultimate direction. We all have the details and the different things that happen in our life, and we can choose to use them to move us in that ultimate direction. We can allow these different things that happen to move us towards greater love and greater wisdom. That is the ultimate point of it all for our personal journey. And yet, when we are in those moments of vulnerability, they can feel very strong. They can feel very overpowering, but there is power in them when we're able to have that moment, that little bit of space that allows us to see how they may be part of that larger journey. So don't make it about that other person. Make it about that larger journey, your journey towards greater love and greater wisdom. And if they're meant to continue along that road with you, they will. No question, they will. And if they're not, that's okay too, because you will continue along that journey towards greater love and greater wisdom as well. Now, what I do love about this month for you, and what I love about the sky for you, is that sense of truly stepping into the power of your heart. Mid-month, we have a full moon happening in the sign or in the part of the sky that has to do with your heart and getting in touch with what the heart truly wants in every area of life. Whether you're a creative person and you use your creativity, whether you have creations in terms of art, in terms of children, or you want children, all of that is going to come very much full circle. Whether it is love that your heart truly wants, all of that is going to come very much full circle and going to be very much on the surface with this full moon for you. And the universe is going to let you know that all of these things, that love and the fullness of what your heart desires, is available to you if you will have faith in it. And the universe will give you a whole lot of reasons to have faith in your heart as well. What I love about this month for you also is that faith is that sense of direction, and is that sense, that glimpse of love, and that choice that you make in wisdom as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video just like this each and every week. Sign on to astrofabulous.com and become one of my superstars. And as one of my superstars, you get access to a exclusive video scope each and every week, just like this, nadiyashah.com or astrofabulous.com. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.